Welcome back to Hockey Talks. I'm Carl. That's Dave here. Connor McDavid, we have an update on that for you. He might play this coming weekend against the Vancouver Canucks on Saturday. He says he thinks he's feeling good. He's been working on it very hard to get back into the lineup. It was just an ankle injury is what we heard.
Just an ankle injury.
We'll see how long that lingers for, right? He said he's going to come back in the lineup, but do you think he's going to be 100% healthy?
I don't think he's going to be 100% healthy. Do you?
No, I don't think so.
An ankle injury is a pretty serious thing. It takes a little bit longer. I can understand the fact why they want him to play so soon, but it kind of leads me to a question of like, how desperate for McDavid are they if they are forcing him to play earlier than it is for his injury to heal?
I don't think they're forcing him.
No?
Well, not only McDavid himself.
I know, but like, you break an arm, you still want to, if it's not fully healed, you still want to play.
Oh,
but,
yeah. McDavid has a lot more power to say whether he plays or not.
Yeah.
I think, right?
But it doesn't mean his bones heal faster.
No, absolutely not. Well, he played through injury, but you'll probably see it, right? Like last year, he wasn't 100% healthy. He did something wrong with his leg, and he still decided to play.
Do you think it's a good decision?
They don't really... Okay. I don't think they really need him to rush back. They two out of their last 3 games without McDavid. They're two out of the last 3 games they won, right? They had a game against New Jersey on Monday night that they got shut out on, but I mean they played pretty good without him. Draisaitl seems to step up.
Yeah.
And Draisaitl can handle this all by himself, I think. But I think
he's a big boy.
I know McDavid wants to play, right? They want him back out there. He's a star. But I think he should take some more time and just...
Especially in the beginning of the season. Absolutely.
A few days, right? And tries to be back Saturday. It's not confirmed yet that he will be back, but that's what he wants to do.
Get some R&R,
Yeah.
Relax a little bit. Watch those Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah. I don't think that's in his DNA.
No.
He's got to be going, right?
Yeah. Going to Game 7 in the Stanley Cup playoffs and losing is, though.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
There's some heavy words, eh?
Yeah. Well, that is so far his resume.
Yeah. Well, in his DNA. No, I'm just kidding. But it really does make me think that he should just take some extra time and prevent anything else from happening. Because, I mean, what if 1 month, 2 months from now, the same injury pops up? Yeah. Or it never fully heals, and next thing you know, in the playoffs, it bugs him. And obviously he played during the playoffs, but he wouldn't be 100% then, right?
Yeah.
So put the time in, heal up.
And ankle injuries take usually a long time to heal.
Yeah.
Never 100% right away. So we'll see what happens on Saturday, whether or not he plays. I have a good feeling that he will play.
Probably. Because
he'll want to play and they'll just let him, right? Whether it's the right move or not, we'll see how he looks on the ice on Saturday.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing Saturday. But...
Well, that's exciting. It's exciting for Edmonton fans.
Yeah. I mean...
For sure.
They seem to be doing fine without him, but... Yeah. It's always exciting having your star back. It makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Makes you feel at home. Comforting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we'll see how long this lingers and if he gets re-injured again because of his ankle.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be exciting to see if he can actually be 100%.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
I don't think he will be.
I don't think so either. Time will tell. Macklin Celebrini though. He's been injured
and he took more time to heal.
Yeah, he's been out for the last 12 games, right? So pretty much beginning of the season he got injured, and he's been out since. But he is set to make his return this week. Number 1 overall pick for San Jose. They haven't really had a chance to see what he can do yet, right? I think it was the 2nd game into the season he got injured. So it'll be exciting to see this guy come back and see what it can actually do now for San Jose.
Yeah.
Right? San Jose has been struggling. They started off 9 straight losses again to open up the season. They won the last 2 out of the 4 games, I think. 2 out of 3 games. So
50%.
They're on an uprise, but getting Macklin Celebrini back is definitely going to help them, I think.
It's going to boost morale for sure.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The number 1 overall draft pick comes back, and which is a guy you wanted there to see if he can help your team turn around, get into the right direction, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see what he can do. I expecting, well, definitely pretty big things with San Jose, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be one of their top guys, and the things he's been able to prove that he can do.
It'll be exciting to watch him play. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, especially on a team where they could use somebody to get a little bit of points and boost the morale of the team. Maybe scrape some more wins together. Even though it's been 2 out of 4, you know, which is good for them. I think it'll be good, and it'll be also fun to watch. You know, it's a new kind of starting point for some great players out there, and it's nice to see him bounce back and be healthy now.
Yep.
He took his time and healed up, and so yeah, we'll see if he plays at 100% as well. Actually.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember what the injury actually was, but see if he'll be 100% as well. I would assume he took quite a bit of time to get there, right? 12 games, so he should be good to go. It'll be exciting to see what he can do.
Yeah.
This year, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What team has the worst power play in the NHL?
As of currently right now?
Right now.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
Good guess.
Yeah.
I was not expecting you to get that. How on earth did you know?
Well, I know they've been working really hard on trying to figure out their power play because it's been a mess. And Mitch Marner has been open about it, right? Saying that they are working very hard in their practices to figure out this power play. Craig Berube's mixed up lines and trying to figure out this power play as well, but for some reason, they can't get goals.
Yeah.
I don't know. They've been just struggling.
Yeah. Bonus points if you get the percentage.
Yeah. Power play is probably running at a 42%?
7.9.
7.9. That's pretty low.
Yeah.
I guess 40% would be the lowest.
That wouldn't be the lowest.
I don't know.
But
it's just a
lot of people, it makes you think, like, what's all going on there, and are they going to be able to fix it? Personally, my own opinion is that they're not worried about power play. Sure, Marner comes out and starts talking about it, you know. I'm pretty sure, whatever, we won't go there. But I do think that power play right now, in the eyes of the coach, might not be what the main focus is. In my opinion, anyways, what their main focus is right now is being able to play 5-on-5 and score playoff-style goals. Now, what happens when you have a team who's changing the way that they score goals and all of a sudden they have a power play? Well, they have to go back to playing how they played before. So maybe there's a bit of a difficulty there with changing the way that they're playing 5v5 to going back to the way they used to play 5v4. So that could be something having to do with it. But I think that in order to move forward and progress as a team, you have to take a step back. 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
Yeah.
And if you guys can have a very, very bad power play, it's like, great. Let's find out what exactly is going wrong and let's patch it up. Let's fix it. But you can't fix something that's working awesome, and then when it falls apart come playoff time, now what? You're trying to fix something in the playoffs. That doesn't necessarily go so well. So part of me is kind of happy to see it because, you know, in the playoffs, I don't think the Leafs usually have the strongest power play in the world. So maybe this is just exposing a bit of their weaknesses. And maybe the thing that's exposing the weaknesses is them changing the style of play.
That could be as well, right?
Yeah.
The whole change of style of play. Like he wants to play a more aggressive style, right? Get down to the dirty areas. That's what Craig Berube loves to teach, right?
Yeah.
So that could be messing with the playoffs, right? I mean,
the power play.
The power play.
Yeah.
Yeah, which that could be, but they just have to figure out a new way of going about it, right? Clearly what they're doing is not working, right? So maybe it's a different style, like you said. They have to adjust that on the power play and get into that kind of same style, right?
Yeah, it'll take time.
Yeah.
But eventually when you play in a different style, you know, it's kind of a hard wall you have to break through. Eventually you break through it and everything just makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything works substantially better than it did before.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a good team, this is where I lie. If you have a good team that's scoring, getting points, can't push their way through the playoffs, you need to break down or build up a different wall that they need to break down. It's usually the path of least resistance, right? So they always go and they just play the way that they know how to play.
Yeah.
But now they're playing in a different style. Once they break through that wall, it's going to be a different team. It's going to be a good team.
Yep.
And come playoffs time, they will be able to push through. And it's going to be, it'll be good to see. So I'm hoping maybe down the road that it's almost like an investment. You invest a few points, you invest a few stats. They're still winning games. They're still in good position. They're not the best, not the worst. But if this can lead to solidifying and being a stronger team, like solidifying position, I guess, and being a stronger team down the stretch, I think it's a good way of approaching it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Like they have time, right? Like you said, they're not losing every single game, right?
Yeah.
Just because of their power play, they have a good 5-on-5 game, right?
Exactly.
And their penalty kill hasn't been that bad either, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they just gotta do some tweaking to their power play, which they're gonna need yet in the playoffs, right? Absolutely, you have to have a strong power play, but they got some time to work on that, right?
Absolutely.
That's the only thing that's kind of bogging them down right now. They can fix that.
Yeah.
Get on the right track, right, for the playoffs. So which I have no doubt they're gonna make.
Like looking back at the playoffs, man, like their power play wasn't the best either.
Yeah.
It's like I'd rather go through the pain right now than the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't cry too much about anything. They still have lots of time to figure it out. And a lot of people, they're saying, "Oh, it must be horrible having one of the best offense in the league and having the worst having the worst power play." And I keep my same mentality of, "Hey, that's how you get stronger." You know.
You got to learn to gel with each other, right?
Yeah.
And the team changes a lot. I mean, they've kept their same core, but there's new people in place, right, on the power play and all that kind of stuff. They changing stuff up and seeing what works.
Yeah.
Eventually, they will find it eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the Toronto Maple Leafs, so Matthews' injury, which we just found out about, it's an upper body injury. He's listed day-to-day right now. Doesn't seem like it's too serious. At least that's what they make it out to be.
Yeah.
We don't know how long he's going to be out for. But does that affect the Leafs right now? I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I think it does affect the Leafs, but I also think that the way that they're trying to be retaught kind of how to play, I think it's less about the person being injured. Obviously, Matthews has got a good stick, and I think it's more about the positioning. So as a whole team, they're trying to learn their new positions. They're trying to learn how to play the puck in front of the net. So yeah, I mean, do I consider it like they're better without him? Not really. Is he going to be missed on the team for a few games, depending on whatever it is that he's injured with or how long he's gone for?
Yeah,
absolutely. It'll probably cause them to miss maybe a couple points here and there. But is it going to affect him down the road? No, maybe not. No, it's unfortunate to see those stars go out.
Yeah,
but at the same time, the rest of the team is there. It's a team sport.
Absolutely.
The rest of the team will pick up the slack.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, he misses his offensive power, but he's only scored 5 goals in the last 11 games, I think, like that. So people are trying to figure it again. It's the same thing as last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the same thing as last year, and I tell people time and time again, just because players go on cold streaks does not mean they don't get the points that they're gonna be getting. You know.
Oh, look, he went on to shoot 69 goals last year. So.
Yeah. So, and you know what? He probably beat that this year.
Don't worry, Leafs fans.
Yeah. I got you back.
Yeah. He will be back, and he will probably score a lot of goals again this year.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how long he's out for, but for now, all we know is upper body injury, and he's day-to-day.
Yeah.
That is it. Speaking on winning streaks, Winnipeg Jets.
Yes.
Are they for real?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
They are 11-1-0. The only loss
to
them was October 28th against
the Leafs.
Yeah. Which
what was the power play percentage in that game?
That I'm not too sure.
See, it doesn't matter so much when they win, right?
Yeah, but the only team to beat them was the Leafs so far.
Yeah.
But everything else, they've been a high-powered offensive team.
Yeah.
And Hellebuck has been really good in that as well, right? But the Winnipeg Jets, man, they are on a tear. They are scoring a lot of goals, and they just keep winning.
Yeah.
Keep winning. You don't think they're for real, eh?
I don't think they're going to keep this pace up. I think if we were to use like Jersey as an example, I think Jersey's going to keep the pace. I think they're going to keep the foot on the pedal for sure.
They started to find their game. That was their last game. They actually lost to New Jersey 3-0. Oh, no. Sorry, scratch that. New Jersey's on a real pace. They beat somebody else 3-0 just the other night. Edmonton, I do believe.
Yeah, well, it's what we were talking about where in a previous episode of this is New Jersey with the injuries back healthy again and the new coach being able to jive with that kind of player core. We're gonna see some good things come out of Jersey, and it's exactly what we're seeing. So I think they're gonna do absolutely fantastic this whole season. Come playoffs, we'll see what happens when it happens.
Yeah.
But as for Winnipeg, like my opinion there is, it's like the whole team is jiving, but it'll last so long, and eventually people go cold. And like you said, the goaltender's playing good. The whole team is playing great. Whenever one of those cogs breaks, then what happens? Whether it's the goaltender entering a cold streak, balancing out his statistics, right?
Yeah.
Or if it's a couple of the players or whatever, maybe they just have a hard road trip that really puts a funk on things. But I kind of see what in my head will happen there.
Yeah, well, they're going to hit a cold streak eventually. Every team does. It's whether or not they can bounce back from it after, right? That's the biggest thing. Right now, Winnipeg Jets, 11-1-0, playing really good hockey right now, and it's been fun to watch them play.
Yeah.
Plus, my fantasy team is doing really good thanks to them. Yeah. So, there's a bonus.
That's the important stuff.
Another topic I wanted to get to. The other night, there was a game between Montreal and Pittsburgh, and Noal Accari made a hit on Sevelovsky. I don't know if I said that right, but it was a shoulder to the head, and he went through concussion protocol. It sounds like he's going to be all right, but then
it was a dirty hit.
It was a dirty hit. It was a dirty hit. Yeah, absolutely, shoulder to the head, but the retaliation after from Arbor Jacka, who came after, thought he would have to come after Noal Accari from that hit, right? But when he tried to get at him at the end of the game, instead he stuck out his knee and hit Accari, and then they broke out into a fight. So Accari's okay and all that kind of stuff. But that himself, I think, is a dangerous hit, right?
The knee
itself. After that, what Accari did was also a dangerous hit, right? But the knee from Jacki was also very dangerous, sticking that out.
Luckily, with 2-3 seconds left in the third period.
Yeah, it was like 3 seconds left in the period. The game was over. I get it. Emotions are running high and stuff like that, right? And you want to make sure that you stick up for your guys, right? Especially if somebody gets hurt. But is that taking it too far? Like, there's so many other ways you could probably do it.
The argument between the panel that was discussing this was between Bieksa and whom?
Jennifer Botterill.
Yeah, and the kind of idea was, she was saying it's not like you don't need to do an eye for an eye, and Bieksa obviously was saying the opposite.
Yeah.
And my mentality is a little bit of both, I guess, where the way I see a hockey player, excuse my ignorance towards like military lingo, but I see hockey players as kind of your troops and the coach is the general. It's like the troops are going to be the troops, If the general doesn't want to play that guy in the last bit of the game because he knows it's going to happen, don't play the guy.
Yeah.
You know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's how hockey. That's how you avoid it.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's out there, it's kind of like they're trying to push the front line a little bit, and that front line is gonna stand their ground.
Well, I think that was the whole
it's hockey. There's no avoiding it. The second where you let that happen to you, it's no matter how you think hockey is evolving. The same thing is going to happen over and over again, just in different ways.
Yeah.
And so it's not so much the player's responsibility, because that's just what's going to happen in a high emotional game. It's the general's responsibility not to put people out there that you think are going to get hurt.
I totally agree with that. It has to fall on him somewhat too, right? You can't just put, that's probably going to happen, right? And if you throw him out there, he's looking for revenge, right?
Yeah.
I get the whole thing, stick it up for you guys and stuff like that, right? It's fine, but you can't throw something like that, right? He was out to try to do something to Accari, right? And that's what he wants. That's what he wanted to do. It's my opinion that he wanted to. Sure, he was sticking up for his teammate, but yeah, a guy like that who wants to like stick out his knee to try to take him down, right? I mean, there's certain lines you can't cross, right? Sure, you can go out and try to fight him, but don't try to hurt him. I think that was kind of intentional to try to. Maybe it wasn't to hurt him, but to try to slow him down. But you got to think a little bit. Think a little bit, and yeah, sending him out there was probably a stupid idea.
Mm-hmm.
I get emotions are high. They want to try to do something to be on top of it, right? They want to be the ones going, oh, yeah, you don't mess with us, right? You injure a guy, you're going to deal with everybody on our team, or at least certain guys. But I agree with both sides. Jennifer Botterill, I agree with her. You didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that. But I also agree with Kevin.
I think I disagree with the way that she views the game, though, maybe a little bit.
Okay.
And it's not... Like, I get it. We're all moving towards an area where we don't need to have as much injuries and all that. And it's like, that's the perfect way of doing it. Like, look at the way the world works, though, right? The world doesn't quite work that way. And even though everybody's following the rules, there's always going to be a bendy line.
Yeah.
No matter what you do. So it's either you get taken advantage of or you don't. And especially in a sport like this, it has to happen.
Yeah.
And the way you avoid it, don't do a dirty hit in the first place. That's how you avoid it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not saying Accari, whatever he did, he wasn't right. He did a dirty hit right, and he deserved. Like, I think a fight would have justified that, right? Like, they do a fight or something like that. But I mean, the knee, I don't know.
But I don't
think the knee was justified.
I think.
Did they have to settle it that way? I agree with settling it. Like, of course, like, you have to stick up for your teammates. But how about in that moment? And not later on at the end of the game.
Here's the thing. I agree with the fact that a suspension is enough to cover a dirty hit. But here's the problem that I have. Okay. Most of the time, these players get suspensions, but it's like 5 games, 6 games. Depending on who you are, too, right? If you're a moneymaker, you're just going to be less time, obviously, right? There's just that natural bias in there. But, okay, if you injure a player, you are suspended for the exact amount of time it takes that player to heal and play again.
Yeah.
Then I'd be okay with it. But it does not work that way.
No,
so you injure a player, you get suspended 2 games. That's not equivalent to a dirty hit.
Yeah.
And so when you put a dirty hit out there right now, the way it works is you don't get suspended for the equal amount of time that player is injured.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you kind of get what's coming to you.
I get that. Absolutely. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. It's not, this isn't the end of it, actually. I'm sure if these teams.
It's going to keep going.
It's going to keep going, right? Noal Accari, if the Montreal Canadiens and Pittsburgh play another game against each other, it's going to fume over to that game. I do believe it will, right? Especially with all this stuff going on. But yeah, I get it. You got to stick up for your team, right? The knee shouldn't have happened. And there's probably...
Well, I think I disagree. I disagree.
You think the knee was necessary?
I think anything was necessary.
Okay.
And I think a dirty hit calls for a dirty hit in this league. In the way that this league works. I know you want to say, oh, what's better, what's ethical, and what's
no, not necessarily.
What's the... Well, I know what you're trying to say, I think. Yeah. So I guess what I'm just saying is I don't think it quite works that way, and you got to call it with something equal. And sure, it could have been done in a different fashion, but I even don't think a fight would have been equal,
Yeah, maybe.
But then again, I've seen a lot of players get injured very seriously, and it's not intentional.
Yeah.
And it's even worse when it is intentional, and it was an intentional dirty hit. He didn't have to make that decision to make that hit, but
no.
I don't know. Maybe
he didn't have to make that decision to throw a knee in there either. The thing is,
but in my opinion, he wants to start some stuff. There's 3 seconds left. He's going towards the player. He wants to clip him to start something, and
of course he wanted to start something.
When you do dirty things like that, you become a magnet towards it.
Yeah,
it's aggression. If you walk through the streets and you're just naturally angry and frustrated, you're shoving people around. You know what I mean? You get what's coming to you. Eventually, you're going to shove a guy that's going to lay you out.
Oh yeah,
That's what's going to happen.
Absolutely.
It doesn't work where you can walk along a sidewalk and nobody will touch you and you're all fine and dandy. It's just not the world.
Yeah, but he could have went straight to the guy instead of.
But it did look like he was trying, and then it was like, oh crap, there's a bit of time left, so he quickly cut in and
had to do something quick. That could have been two. But I don't think there's anything necessary for the knee. But we got to move on.
But really quickly, what do you think would have been a good consequence for that player then?
Well, like during the game?
Sure. Let's say he hit a player and it was dirty. What do you think would be a good consequence for that action? Right.
Yeah.
That like a match up to it.
Well, I think a fight would have sufficed. If Jack-Eye went there.
So he put somebody out for 3 weeks, and then you just fight somebody, and
go after him. You can go after him. I don't know. Yeah, go after him. But I mean, that you see, I don't know. I just think. Let's say
you take somebody with a baseball bat and you smack them in the head. What do you think is a good consequence for that person?
Yeah, that's true.
A fight? I mean, no. I agree with her in the fact, like the panelist, with there needs to be a suspension for sure.
Oh,
but equal time or more even. Yeah. But it just doesn't work that way because then you got the money makers that throw a dirty hit backs and maybe or something, and they're not making money anymore for the team because they're not playing.
Here's what I think on that. Noal Accari, I think, should get definite suspension. I think a 3-game suspension for that hit.
Okay.
As with Jack-Eye, I think a suspension as well for doing that, but a 1 game. Right?
And what about the guy that is hurt?
Well,
he just deals with the math of the aftermath of a dirty hit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, not deal with the aftermath of a dirty hit. No.
Well, like heal his body and stuff.
He doesn't have a choice now, right?
Yeah.
But luckily, he's okay. He's fine. But if he wasn't, I agree with you though. But that's not the way the rules are right now. That's not the way it's going to happen. They're not going to suspend him as long as he's injured. It should be that way. Mm-hmm. I agree with you on that. Should be that way, but it's not. So
because that would avoid the fight, that would avoid the eye for an eye, because then it is an eye for an eye automatically.
Oh, absolutely. But some of these guys, like Noal Accari, Arbor Jack-Eye has been known to go after a lot of people, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I think he feels his job is, right? And he just likes to play that style of game, right?
But imagine him doing a hit on the guy that hit the other guy and injuring him.
Yeah.
And then being suspended for the amount of time it takes him to heal. Then he wouldn't, maybe have not done it. Depends on the person.
I totally agree with you on this suspension-wise. You get suspended the amount of time that the player's out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. 100%. But
until that happens, that's just the game.
That's the game, right?
Yeah.
I could see it getting maybe now that he's not injured, it might actually be less than 3 games.
Oh, worked out.
Well, there we go. That's why those guys are all heated up, right? Yeah. But it's the reality and the rules that they have in the NHL. It's unfortunate if somebody gets injured like that in a dirty hit that he doesn't pay the same price or at least the same amount of time it does to get them back.
Yeah.
Which I think you're bang on with that. That should happen.
Or something like it.
For something like that.
And until that happens, this is going to be how it is.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yep.
A dirty hit is equal to a dirty hit.
Yep. And then somebody else is going to try something like that, and then we've got all this stuff going on. But that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks again for joining us. We'll hope
let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about that. If they should change the rules. We think they should. But once again, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. And we'll talk to you next time.